Yes, I do enjoy fine art. Thank you for noticing. There's a certain raw beauty to it that modern painters often fail to recreate. I always wanted to be an artist myself, but it'll be a long time before I can call myself that. I often say that patients are my canvas, but my job is more about restoration, obviously. I look at the damaged human minds and bring them back to their former beauty. I'm sorry, I'm probably boring you.
No, it's not that. It's just... It's been a difficult couple of days. I'd really like to go home.
Of course, and go home you will. As soon as we've done this little assessment, okay? You probably know how it works. I've read in your file you used to be a nurse.
Yes, I know very well how it works. You want to check if I'm nuts.
Well, I wouldn't use that expression, obviously. But yes, we have to make sure you're safe and figure out how to help you. Also, as a nurse yourself, you know there's always paperwork involved. These forms won't fill themselves. Honestly, Susan, you have nothing to worry about. This is just a formality. I could tell straight away that you are not nuts.
Fine. What would you like to know? I will answer all your questions. Then I'll go home, take a long shower, and catch up on sleep.
Wonderful. Let's see then. Where do we begin?
She's awake, Doctor.
Good evening. It's good to see you awake at last. You're in the Cedar Lake Hospital. My name is Andrew. I'm one of the doctors. Would you confirm your name for me, please?
Well, we do have a choice of giving the right answer. At least I believe that that's what our name is.
Susan Ashworth.
Hello, Mrs. Ashworth. I'm glad to see you're all right. You're on the ward now. Your condition is stable. I can see your brain functions just fine and there's no permanent damage of any sort. We've checked your internal organs and they're fine too. You're a very lucky lady, Susan. You might experience extreme tiredness and lethargy for a couple of days, but that should soon pass. I would advise plenty of rest now. The nurses on this ward will take it from here. Please let them know if you need anything. Take care, Mrs. Ashworth. Please, don't try to speak. What did you say? Don't worry, Mrs. Ashworth. Your arm is fine. No. There was nothing wrong with your arm, darling. Now calm down.
Would you like me to get you some water? Let me get you a drink. I'll be back in a second. I'm sorry, Susan. Did I wake you? I have to take your blood pressure. 2 seconds and I'm gone. My name is Liz, by the way. I'm sorry. I know this isn't very nice. Believe me, I hate waking people up just for this. But being a nuisance is part of my stupid job, unfortunately. Oof, I hate this place. Tell you what, Susan. Can I call you Susan? So anyway, I shouldn't say it, but you know I'm going to anyway. You are so lucky. It's crazy. You doing what you'd done, and her walking in, seeing what she saw. That was a chance. 1 in a million. I'm not making any sense again, am I? I'm tired. They're working us to death here, you know. Modern day slavery. One day I'll tell him what I really think. I swear I will. Ah, and here it is. You've got the blood pressure of an 18-year-old. Just wanted to say you're lucky, I think, and that I hope you've changed your mind about some things. Got to go, but I'll see you later. You take care, sweetheart, yeah?
Ugh. Let's hope that was just a nightmare.
Bad dream?
I hope so.
Yeah, a really bad one.
I knew it. I could see as soon as I came in the room that you were having a nightmare. I guess I shouldn't have woken you up. What was it about?
I was burnt alive.
Actually, it reminds me of something that happened the other day. There was this woman on the emergency unit, and she really wanted to smoke, you know? But they wouldn't let her, of course. She wasn't well at all, not just injured, but not right in the head. She was on 10 litres of oxygen through the face mask. She had to stay in bed, she was told. But she wouldn't listen, of course, and as soon as they'd left, she lit up a fag. The whole room went up in flames, and so did she. I guess you didn't really want to know that, did you? That's just me and my big gob. Typical. I never know when to shut up.
It's it's always great having a nurse come in, and one of the first things she says is how much she hates her job. I will say, this nurse voice actress reminds me of Meryl from Dragon Age 2. They both have a Welsh accent.
What was your name again?
I forgot to introduce myself, didn't I? I always do that. So sorry, Susan. My name is Elizabeth. But you can call me Liz, like everyone else.
You're here a lot. Every time I open my eyes, I see you.
They make auxiliaries do crazy hours here. Seriously, I feel like I've got no life sometimes. I'll be here till the morning. To be honest, I keep coming here to hide. Please don't give me away. I just want to rest my legs for 2 minutes, that's all.
What happened to me?
Well, how much do you remember?
I took some pills, and I fell asleep in the chair. I remember how the room kept spinning around me slowly. I felt so calm, and then all of a sudden, I was on the field of barley. It was great at first. I felt happy. I was free, but it soon got worse. There was this tunnel, but there was no light at the end of it, only darkness. Then I got lost in the woods. There was my dead body hanged on the tree, a burning car, and a crow, and a deer. I heard something behind the trees, but I didn't dare to look. Then I found the house. The old woman who lived there, I think she was Death. Or maybe she was the devil, I'm not sure. She said they call her the Queen of Maggots. She said I should go back, gave me another chance. And so, here I am. Weird dream, eh?
Maybe it wasn't a dream. I really believe in that sort of stuff. It's not impossible.
It felt real, but it was just a dream. Can you now tell me who found me and what happened?
Well, your body went into a coma. You were lucky she came home and found you. I told you that before.
What? Who found me?
Your daughter, of course. She called an ambulance. If it wasn't for her, you would sure be dead now, Susan.
My daughter?
Yes. Why? Why'd you look so pale all of a sudden, Susan?
I don't have a daughter. Whoever she is, she lied.
But why would she do that?
How should I know? I was in a coma, apparently.
So she lied. It doesn't change the fact that you owe her your life.
I was fine. I didn't ask for any help. Sorry. How long have I been here?
I was told you arrived at the hospital at 7 in the evening. You had a cardiac arrest in the ambulance. They had to resuscitate you. Your heart stopped beating for nearly a minute, but they managed to bring you back. You went to the intensive care unit, where they gave you a dose of antidote and pumped your stomach. As soon as your condition was stable, they brought you on this ward. It's called Dime Ward. I call it Die Ward, because all the patients who come here want to die. It's a suicide watch unit. That's why it's so strict. You have to be careful. Nurses here are trigger happy with the sedatives.
When will they let me go home?
I'm not sure. Probably not today. Maybe tomorrow. Look, I shouldn't say that, but you seem like a nice person. I feel like I should warn you. There's this doctor here. They call him Dr. X. He's a chief of psychiatry in this hospital. You won't be able to go home until he's talked to you, and he's really good at getting into your head. You know what I'm saying? He will ask you a lot of tricky questions. But he's a really great guy. You should trust him.
Tell me more about this Dr. X.
His name is Xavier Zellman, but everyone just calls him Dr. X. He comes on the ward often, usually late in the afternoon or in the evening. I personally really like him, but you hear all sorts of stories in a place like this, you know. I don't know what to believe anymore. All I know is he's been very friendly and supportive. Some doctors won't even say hello to you, but Dr. X usually stops and asks how I am. He knows I have some problems. He can see I'm not happy here. He actually offered me some free weekly sessions. I think I might take him up on his offer.
What are they saying about him?
Oh yeah, they say he's a big flirt. Nurses, cleaners, patients. He doesn't care, as long as they're wearing a skirt. One girl I knew, Linda, I heard they had an affair. Stupid girl. Well, she left, and I never saw her again. Now why do you think that is? Dr. X got her knocked up. They covered it up and quietly got rid of her. Probably paid her some money. I don't know how these things work, but it must have been enough to shut her up. I bet he'll be more careful now. But I can't really say a bad word about him, personally. Well, one thing. Maybe. Don't laugh, okay? He's got a weird smell.
What do you mean?
He smells funny. I don't know. Maybe it's just bad aftershave. Or maybe it's something he eats.
Oh, thanks for the warning. I'll try not to get too close to him.
Now that I think about it, there's something else too. I'll tell you this, Susan. He starts talking to you, and you just open up and tell him everything. It's very odd. I don't exactly hide things from people, but he got some really private stuff out of me. Really private. You know what I mean? Things I wouldn't tell my mother about, and we haven't even started those sessions yet. So, be prepared for that.
Sure, but it's a bit too late for me to hide how I feel now anyway. I think I made it very clear when I swallowed those pills. Did you see this daughter of mine?
No, sorry, Susan. Apparently she came in the ambulance with you, but then she remembered something and had to go. I think someone mentioned she went in quite a hurry.
Of course she did. She was worried I'd ask her what she was doing in my flat.
Saving your life?
Do I really have to give her a benefit of the doubt just because of that?
One would assume so. That girl is a hero. Maybe real heroes always leave before their identity is revealed.
Or she was a burglar, attempting to steal from me.
That's a possibility too. Have you got anything very precious in your flat?
Maybe.
Thoughtful pause there.
Tell me something more about yourself.
Me? I'm a nobody. I'm just a hard-working girl. We all have to pay our bills somehow, right? I rent a room not far from here. There are 2 other girls living in the house. One is an auxiliary nurse, like me. She's always sick. The other one is a stripper. At least I think so. She's never home at night.
Maybe she works at night, like you.
Yeah, but I don't leave for work wearing red stockings and heels, do I?
No, you're right. You're a real nurse, not some man's fantasy of one.
I used to do all that for my boyfriend. You know, dress up as a sexy nurse and all. Well, I did it just once, really. He didn't like it that much. He didn't like me that much either. Broke up with me last Valentine's Day. Of all the days, he chose that one, eh? He never told me why, but I don't care anymore.
I'm tired. Let me sleep now.
Fine. I'll see you again. Be careful who you trust here, Susan. They will be watching you.
How do I know you're not one of them?
You don't. But do I really look like a bad person to you?
I don't know. Maybe not.
I'll see you tonight. Remember what I said. Dreams are just dreams. But when they turn into nightmares, it's good to have someone there to pinch your arm and wake you up, right?
We'll start with a little chat about your childhood. I want you to be as honest as possible. It's important if we want to get to the bottom of your problem. Count to 10 and tell me when you're ready, Susan.
Okay. So as you've seen through these first chapter and now into the second chapter, this game is really dialogue heavy, which I think maybe for some people can be a bit of a turnoff. It certainly doesn't bother me as long as we get into the heads of the characters and progress the story. But I guess some people might note that as a little bit of a drawback. That said, though, the amount of action and puzzle solving compared to dialogue does get a little bit more balanced as we go further into the story. So I need to take a quick break in the recording here, but you guys won't notice because it's just going to be a quick cut. So just see you on the other side of it. Alright, apologies for that quick cut. Let's just continue on with our story here.
This isn't all about whether you're nuts or not, like we said before. It's about finding what has caused how you're feeling now and creating a working solution. In order to achieve that, I need to get to know you better. Can we talk about your childhood first? Your parents. When you're a child, your life revolves around them. What was your father like? Did you have a good relationship with him?
So here we are able to provide some backstory for Susan. I do not believe it actually affects which ending you get in the game, because there are multiple endings. I'll just go ahead and say that now. But I believe it's not affected by your answers here, so you're free to answer whatever kind of backstory you would like to give Susan. So, for this run-through, I think I'm just going to choose some options that I haven't chosen before.
I was brought up without a father.
I understand he wasn't there when you were growing up. Can you tell me why? What happened to him?
He...
Committed suicide seems a little bit too obvious. Or I guess I'm not sure if that's the word I want to use in this at that point, but let's go with the first one.
died in an accident. I'm not sure what exactly happened. All I know is that it was a car crash. I was told he died instantly.
Let's talk about your mother now. What was she like? Would you care to tell me about her?
Alright, so we gave the father a very tragic end, so why don't we do something different for the mother?
I can't complain. My mum was great. She did her best to make up for the loss of my father. Me and her, we were like best friends, like soulmates. We did everything together. She passed away 7 years ago. Her forever broken heart finally gave up. But she did give me a wonderful childhood, despite everything that happened. I will always love her for that.
Okay, I'm beginning to get a better picture. That's enough about your parents for now. Let's take 2 minutes, and we will talk about something else.
I need to get out of this place. I hate hospitals. Besides, I really want to go home and forget all about this.
Alright, so this part really starts the chapter proper, where we're going to start figuring out how to get out of this hospital. It's a clip-on hospital wristband. I'm sure we're all aware or have experience with these. I know I do. It's got my name, date of birth, and hospital number on it. And we have the option of giving that to someone, so that's a little clue of what we're going to ultimately have to do. How can this help me escape from this horrible place? That's what we're going to find out. This is our bed that we've been sleeping on for, seems to be at least a couple days, if not more. And let's see. I don't really want to sleep here. I'm not tired anyway. So we can't sleep. We have the pillow here. Just looking at this pillow makes me wonder how many people have died with their heads on it. I'm sure it's been washed many times since then, but it still sends a chill down my spine. Come to think about it, I nearly died here myself. Wait, I did die for a moment, didn't I? Well, that is the question. Nothing under the pillow. Okay. The needles are stuck at 10:08. It's probably broken, or maybe it just needs new batteries. Wonder if that particular time has some significance. We have a rack here. It's full of latex gloves. Excuse me. 3 different sizes. Take 1 glove, take a lot of gloves. I like this particular option. But we're adventure heroes, which means some of the rules here still apply, even though this is a kind of a horror genre. You take as much as you can get. So now we have a whole lot of gloves. We do have a sink. So we can turn it on and off. I think for the most part, none of the sinks in the rooms, even though you could interact with them all, I don't think they do anything except to give you progress, except for one particular sink, which we'll come across later. We have a poster here. I think it says, "Stop infection in its tracks. Every patient contact needs clean hands." Also a "Stop the Flu" poster, although all the stuff under it is unreadable. We have a drug chart for ourselves. List of drugs for patient inside room 2. I guess that's me then. I'm on a lot of sedatives, it appears. The stuff they're giving me could knock out a horse, and give it a headache for a week too. It could also cause hallucinations and paranoia. How bizarre. Why would they want to give me all that? I'm not crazy. I know that for sure. If anyone's crazy here, it's someone who put me on all this medication for no good medical reason. In a way, I kind of like how that dialogue flows, because on the one hand, she says that the sedatives have a possible side effect of hallucinations and paranoia. So, first off, hallucinations. So everything that she experienced in Chapter 1 could have been a hallucination brought on by the sedatives. And 2, it says it causes paranoia, and the rest of her text, of course, starts to slant towards being paranoid. So I kind of like how that played out there. We have flowers, a bunch of chrysanthemums. I hate flowers. And there's actually a story reason for that. Take a smell. I don't like flowers. I really don't care what they smell like. She really does not like flowers. No way I'm taking them. I don't like flowers, especially chrysanthemums. A mystery to be solved at a later date. We have side room 1. And here, I believe, is where there's a slight... I noticed this on my first run-through, too. There's a slight typo here. She says side room 2. I think what's meant to be here is side room 1. So, side room 1. They must be keeping another suicidal nutcase in there. But if we enter the room, it's currently not occupied. It's another glove rack, although I believe it's just the same as the others. The needles are stuck at 11:40. Are all the clocks broken in this hospital? So it's not just the one in her room. I'm not sleeping in someone else's bed. Fair enough, Susan. We have a pillow. This pillow looks dirty. Anything under it? Nothing interesting under the pillow. Look at the chart for this person. It's a list of drugs for patient inside room 1 and some notes. According to this, her name is Ann Burton, 35 years of age. She's taking a lot of sedatives and has a long history of drug abuse. It seems that on top of it all, she's taking methadone for heroin withdrawal syndrome. At the bottom of the page, there's a note saying she's actually a private patient who's staying here out of her own free will. Lucky lady, because it won't be so easy for me to leave the ward. I wonder if real hospitals, they just have the charts dangling out there in front for us to see. I'm kind of suspicious that that's not actually the case in real life, but it's convenient for game purposes. Door at the far end here. There's someone
Hello?
inside.
I guess I should wait my turn.
Oh. That sounds like it might be a lavatory then. Oh, I don't think we've actually looked at the gloves yet, so let's examine them. Nope, just a bunch of rubber gloves, but they're quite heavy actually. So keep that in mind. Must be thicker material. Looks like a reasonably busy place. There's a nurse on duty. We have some discharge letter, folders. These must be patient files. They're piled up on the desk.
Please do not touch these. They are all confidential documents.
I was only going to tidy up.
I'm sorry, are you one of the housekeepers? Why did you dress up as a patient?
I just can't stand mess, that's all. And there's no need to be sarcastic.
Who's being sarcastic?
Like we have a bureaucrat here on our hands. It's a discharge letter from Ann Burton, currently a patient inside room 1. It seems she has admitted herself into the hospital and is allowed to leave whenever she wishes. So there's our clue as to maybe how we can get out of here.
Please do not touch these. They are all confidential documents.
Yeah? Well, maybe you shouldn't leave them out on the desk for everyone to see.
If you are looking for something to read, we have some magazines for patients here.
Thanks, but I think I'll pass.
Well, I think Susan has a fair point there. Let's see what the nurse has to say. First we'll have a look. I bet she thinks those red-rimmed glasses make her look attractive. I know her kind all too well. Completely dedicated to her job, yet totally brainless and close-minded.
I'd like to go home now.
Well, so would I. But there are procedures and a system in place. I can't just let you go like that.
What?
Look, I'm very busy at the moment. I'll come and talk to you in a minute, alright?
Well, that didn't get us anywhere. Let's see.
I feel much better now. Can you please discharge me?
I'm glad to hear that. But I can't discharge you until Dr. X sees you. He should be doing his round very soon. Please return to your bed and wait for him, alright?
So this scene here places us still before the interview that we're seeing with Dr. X.
Is Liz here?
And who's Liz?
That young nurse who was here last night. Black hair, very chatty. She said her name was Liz.
I'm sorry. A lot of people come through here. I can't remember everyone's name. Can you return to your bed now, please? It's nearly time for your medication. I can't be chasing around after every single patient.
Beg your pardon?
Look, I'm very busy at the moment. I'll come and talk to you in a minute, alright?
I don't think we're going to get anywhere with her, but we'll try one more option here.
Can I make a phone call, please?
Oh, yes, of course. But the phone's being used at the moment. Can you please come back in 5 minutes? Thanks.
Okay, officially a no-show here. Oh. Hello, guards.
Excuse me. Where's the exit?
It's just down the corridor, ma'am.
Thanks. I'll be on my way then.
Can I see the discharge letter first?
A discharge letter? What for?
Some of our patients are under observation and aren't allowed out of the ward. For their own safety, of course.
It sounds like we're prisoners here.
It's for the patient's safety, ma'am. If you haven't been discharged by the doctors, I'm afraid I can't let you through. May I ask what your name is?
Well. We may have to call ourselves something else later, so why don't we just head back?
I'll come back later.
Please do, ma'am. We'll be right here.
Because as of now, I think the plan should be if we can get, what's her name? Ann Burton, that's it. Get Ann Burton's ID tag, we may be able to get out of here. This must be the patient from side room. Yeah, see, once again it says side room 2, although I believe it should be reading side room 1. God, doesn't she look confused. A little shaky on her feet, too, it seems. Maybe it's the heroin withdrawal. Another suicidal patient. Strange. She looks like someone I know. I wonder who that is.
Hi. Are you alright? Can we talk for a minute?
I can't talk. Please, just leave me alone.
Oh, I mean you no harm. I'm trapped here, just like you.
Trapped? I don't know. It's just so hard to think without it. But you're a stranger. And you're not one of those lovely nurses either. They look after me so well. I trust the nurses like I trusted my mother.
I just want to talk. I need your help.
Unless it's Mother who sent you. Was it her? Please tell me it was her.
Yeah, sure. I'm a good friend of your mother.
I missed her so much. I can't remember you very well. But you should know this. If you really are a friend, you will know my mother's name. The name that haunts me. A beautiful name.
Yeah, sure I do. Now, let me ask you.
What is it?
Oh, well...
What is my mother's name?
So they give you a whole bunch of options here. I remember the very first time I selected Alice because in the scene before where we saw the guy hang himself, he said, "I'm sorry, Alice." So I thought maybe they were connected somehow. But if you go through all of these, they're all wrong. And she just keeps saying the same thing over and over, which is, that's not right. So, I'll just go ahead and give you an example. Here's, for example, if we say Alice.
Alice.
No, you're wrong. Leave me alone. Please, just leave me alone.
So yeah, she'll give that response for whatever you try, basically. But we now have access to a new room. It's a toilet door, so obviously it is a bathroom. Let's head on in and see what we can see.